I'm Amy Barnhart, and I'm here today with Dr. Dana Fillmore, clinical psychologist and marriage and family expert. We're here as part of our regular series where Dr. Dana answers your questions. If you'd like your question answered, please enter it in the comment box below. Hi, Dana.
Hi, Amy.
Thanks
How
for
are you
joining
doing?
us.
Sure.
Great. Today's question is, I want to know how to be a good spouse without sacrificing my self-respect.
Interesting. Self-respect. Well, that can mean two things. One could mean that they're actually married to someone who wants that person to be less than, be subservient, do things that they consider to be disrespectful. That's an option, and then that's difficult, but because that involves teaching that other person that, you know, the person you're married to, that that's not okay, and that's not what you need, and really getting that person to hear you. However, having been doing this for many, many years, 9 times out of 10, when people say self-respect, they're really talking about, and I mean no disrespect to this person, they're talking about ego, and they're talking about pride, and they're talking about being right all the time, and compromising, and those things are what they're calling self-respect. And my answer to that is you can't. You know, you have to swallow your pride. You have to put the marriage first, not your own self and your own needs. You have to learn to compromise and learn that you're not always right, or that sometimes you got to pick your battles. So a lot of times when people say self-respect, what they mean is they need to be number one all the time, and to do anything else, to take a back seat, to put the other person's needs ahead of them, to hear and care that the other person is in pain, feels like they're giving up a part of themselves. So if in fact this is a self-respect issue, then they need to talk about that with their partner. They need to talk about how it makes them feel. They need to talk about how it makes them feel less than, and so on and so forth, and explain all those things and let their partner know in I statements, definitely saying I feel this and I feel that, not you're making me feel that and you're making me feel this,
Right.
but really owning where that goes for them. But I gotta say, they also need to take a good hard look at whether it is in fact a pride issue, and they're just having a hard time becoming an us, and they really just want to be a me with a partner, which doesn't work.
Right.
And really taking a good hard look at themselves and seeing if that really isn't the piece of it.
Do you think that this might have something to do with maybe someone had an emotional affair and then they feel like, well, if I'm going to stick with this, I'm going to give up my self-respect by staying? Do you think that that might be something that's
sometimes
going on?
people
It's hard to
sometimes
say
think
because
that-
this is all we have in the
Right,
question.
it's just a short question. You know, that's a good, we can certainly answer the question from that perspective. Yeah, I do think that people sometimes think that if they stay with somebody after an affair, that they're somehow condoning the affair, or that they are embarrassed, or, you know, they're not really honoring themselves because they've stayed with somebody. That's not the case. 50% of all marriages are affected by some sort of infidelity at some point in
Right.
the marriage. And you got to always remember that the marriage got itself there. So she's in part, or he's in part, I can't remember if it was a male or female, it doesn't really say, does it? But
yeah.
he or she is in part responsible for that person. You know, the other person crossed the line and had that affair, but they got themselves there, and they need to get themselves
Right.
back. So that is a common misunderstanding, and I often hear people say, you know, I'll handle anything in my marriage, but you know, if he cheats on me or she cheats on me, then that's it. And while of course I do not condone infidelity, that's a pretty harsh line to take. And also you have to remember that if you don't want your partner to cheat on you, you have to make sure that your marriage is in a great space and that they
Right.
don't want to cheat on you. So I would argue owning some of the responsibility for that affair helps with that self-respect issue.
Right.
I always tell people if there's been an affair, not to tell everybody, not to tell their family members and tell their friends and tell their neighbors, and you know, because then it feels like it's a pride issue and a self-respect
Right.
issue if you decide to stay in the marriage, to keep that private between the two of you. So that may be what's been going on
Right.
for them. But you know, again, it's a matter of keeping the family together and owning your part in some of that.
Is there a way that this person might be able to define respect to themselves to maybe mean something different to help them think like, hey, well, respect is actually working on the problem?
Yeah, I mean, I think
and-
you can say that, right? I mean, a self-respecting person works on their marriage. A self-respecting person does whatever it takes to make it work and keep their family together. A self-respecting person keeps their business private and puts their partner's needs sometimes ahead of their own in an attempt to be a better husband or wife. So yeah, I think really sort of recognizing what self-respect means,
Right.
and in the end, you know, being able to look yourself in the eye and your kids in the eye and say that you've done everything to save your marriage. You've done everything possible. That's what's going to take to hold your head up if you needed to walk away at that point. So
Absolutely.
yeah, it's a different definition.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for all your help today.
Sure.
If you'd like your question answered, please enter it in the comment box below. And be sure, if you haven't already, sign up on our website to get more free marriage counseling advice from Dr. Dana. Thanks so much for watching. Thank you so much for watching. To get more free marriage help from Dr. Dana, please check out our website at www.strongmarriagenow.com. If you want to know when we post new videos, please subscribe to our YouTube channel by clicking on the link right on this video. If you've got questions for Dr. Dana or just want to share your opinion, please comment below. Dr. Dana's got lots more marriage transforming videos for you. Here are the links to a few that you may want to see. Again, you can click right on the link you see in the video. And finally, if you know of anyone else that needs help with their marriage, if there's anyone you care about that could benefit from some powerful relationship advice, please help them by clicking on the share button below this video or tell them about our website, www.strongmarriagenow.com. Here are links to even more marriage-saving videos for you. Click on any of these images on the video to check them out. Thanks again for watching.